Going to make a supplementary video for the last one that I did. I tried to do this last night, but didn't go very well. I lost connection. So we're going to talk about the war, resurrection, reign sequence. These things are important that you understand that this is an isochronal event. It is an isochronal event. So it's imperative that you get this sequence so you're able to understand Armageddon is first. Armageddon is first. And from that, Jesus Christ returns, and that's the resurrection of the righteous. That's the first resurrection of the righteous. Okay? Then you have the millennial reign of Christ. This sequence is repeated after the millennial reign of Christ. It's repeated. It's war, resurrection, reign. So take note. After the millennial reign of Christ, Satan is released for a little season and he becomes the hook in the jaw of Gog and Magog. He triggers the Gog and Magog war. So here we go again. Gog and Magog is just like Armageddon. It's starting the sequence. Then what happens? The book of Revelation states very plainly that after that war is terminated, and thus proceeds the second resurrection of the unrighteous. Then what happens? Gog and Magog is exterminated by the pillar of the presence of God. This is plainly laid out in the book of Ezekiel 39. It's laid perfectly out for you. It is also, explained, the millennial reign of Christ is explained in Zechariah chapter 14. The sequence is repeated, and it says that after the battle of Gog and Magog, there is 7 years before God recreates the heavens and the earth. Yes, it does. That's what it says. When you're able to digest and process this information, that what it is a war, resurrection, and reign sequence, you're able to understand the entire narrative. If you deviate from this sequence, confusion ensues. That's what happens. If you deviate from this sequence, chaos ensues. This is why many people who are hirelings, the Bible calls them, this is why they don't know where Armageddon is on the timeline. They don't know where the battle of Gog and Magog is on the timeline. They have no idea when God systematically comes out and tells you not only the details to both wars, both resurrections, and both reigns. He not only does that, he gives you the sequence to follow. The war, resurrection, reign sequence. This is historic premillennialism. This is the only thing that the disciples believed and all the church fathers believed for the first 300 years of church history. This is the only thing that was taught before the Council of Nicaea. This is beyond contestation. This is the truth. I've also did a series of short videos on this detailing all the early church fathers before the Council of Nicaea. They are called the Ante-Nicene church fathers because they're pre the Council of Nicaea. All of them. I gave all the quotes. All of them believed in historic premillennialism. All of them knew about this very simple thing, which is the war resurrection sequence. People read the book of Revelation, and they read that after the battle of Gog and Magog, God sets up a throne and he judges, and then all of a sudden heaven and earth are recreated. Well, that's not what Ezekiel chapter 39 says. It says that God will make his presence known for 7 years. That's what Ezekiel chapter 39 says. That's what it says. Let's go. So go down to verse 11 of Ezekiel 39. That talks about the burial of Gog and Magog. And they will be burying for 7 months. And when you go down to verse 21, he tells you what's going to happen for 7 years. Now, take note that the reference to the 7 years after the Gog and Magog is from verse 9. Let me read it for you. Then those who dwell in the city of Israel will go out and set fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, the javelins and the spears, and they will make fire with them for 7 years. So what about the Ancient of Days? What about he who sitteth upon the throne? So he went back to heaven? No. Jump down to verse 21. I will set my glory among the nations. All the nations shall see my judgment, which I have executed, and my hand, which I have laid on them. Let's skip down to verse 29. He comes right out and says it. And I will not hide my face from them any more, for I shall have poured out my spirit on the house of Israel, says the Lord God. So once you realize that after the battle of Gog and Magog, if you just have inserted the rest of the narrative from Ezekiel chapter 39, you would have known there was 7 years between the battle of Gog and Magog and when God recreates the heavens and the earth. God the Father will reign. Jesus Christ will be here, and the pillar of the presence will be here for 7 years. We get to have the Garden of Eden for exactly 7 years. That's what's going to happen. This is historic premillennialism. This is what all disciples, apostles, everybody believed before the Council of Nicaea. This is true. Remember, the Council of Nicaea was not until after the reign of Diocletian. So anyway, sorry that my last video last evening was so choppy. The reason for it is because my phone was trying to connect to the house's Wi-Fi, and it should have just stayed using cellular data like it is right now. But anyway, sorry for that. I hope you all begin to understand that I am hoping that Jesus Christ was crucified in 30 AD, because if he did, the birth pangs began back in February of 2024, February the 9th, 2024. The four spirits of heaven will start stirring things up come October 1st. You need to prepare yourself for what's to come, because I know nearly all of you have been deceived. I will just be forthright with you. The dispensationalists think there's a pre-trib rapture. The preterists think there is no tribulation. The preterists actually think, ladies and gentlemen, that Revelation chapter 20 is just figurative. Jesus Christ is never going to come back. Only God the Father is going to come back. So when you put these two things together, most Christians have no idea what's to come. That being the case, if you're confused and you want to know what any part of the Bible means, by all means, reach out to me. Send me a message. And I will tell you everything you need to know, because God wrote the Bible to explain it to you. He never intended the hirelings to confuse you. But remember, the servants of God admonish you. You must be born again. Please like, share, and subscribe the video. In doing so, you can take the fruit that I've labored over, plant the seeds for yourself, and bear fruit for yourself with my labor. Till next time, God bless. Godspeed.